In today's video, I'm going to teach you about angle pairs. So at the end of this video, you will be able to describe and explain the relationships between angle pairs based on their measures. So without further ado, let us start. To start with the discussion, review muna natin yung mga types of angles. So in this activity, we are going to match these angles to their types of angles below. So pwede nyong i-pause ito and then play na lang later after answering. Okay, so the first angle here is an example of what we call a right angle. Okay, because this is a 90-degree angle. Next figure, this is what we call an acute angle. Acute angle has a measure of less than 90 degrees. And then we have here an obtuse angle, an angle that measures more than 90 degrees. And then we have here what we call a straight angle, which measures 180 degrees. And then the last example is what we call a reflex angle, an angle that measures more than 180 but less than 360. Okay, so given these angles here, we can actually combine them. So we can see that these angles can be paired up together at may mabubuo tayong mga pairs. Okay? So ang mga pairings na ito, we can actually call them the angle pairs. Okay? At yun yung ating pag-aaralan ngayon. So we all know that in real life, madami tayong nakikitang mga pairs like pair of socks, pair of shoes, spoon and fork, a lot of pairs that we can see around us. At sa angles, meron din. And we call these angles, our first pair is what we call a complementary angles. Ano tong complementary angles? Now, let us see the definition. Okay? Two angles are complementary if their measures add up to 90 degrees. Okay? So ano yung mga examples natin dito? So we have here angle A which measures 60 degrees and angle B which measures 30 degrees. These two angles, if they add up, magiging 90 degree. So ito ang example ng complementary angles. Okay, ano pa? We can also have this example. We can say that angle ABC, if we're going to combine it or add it with angle CBD, kakaroon tayo ng sum na 90 degrees. Okay? So, kung ang measurement ni angle ABC ay 40 degrees, sa tingin nyo, ano kaya ang magiging measurement ni angle CBD? Okay. It should be 50 degrees. Okay? Paano yon? You can just subtract 40 from 90 degrees and you will get 50 degrees. Okay? So if you add them, 40 plus 50, you will get 90 degrees. Okay? One more example. Okay? Itong example natin dito, as you can see, we can actually use numbers to name an angle. So this angle is angle 1 and this angle is angle 2. Okay. Now, walang nakasulat dito na measurement. Paano natin malalaman na itong dalawang to ay complementary angles? Meron tayong tinatawag na clue. Ito na po yung box dito. Alright? As you can see, there's a box type or a square. They actually call this foot. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin niyan, pag may nakita kayong ganyang symbol, it means 90 degrees. Okay? So we can say that the measurement of angle 1 and the measurement of angle 2 is equal to 90 degrees. Next angle pair is what we call a supplementary angles. Okay? Two angles are supplementary if their measures add up to 180 degrees. Alright. Kung kanina 90 degrees si complementary, ngayon naman ay 180 degrees. Ganito po yung mga examples natin. So we have here angle A. It measures 130 degrees. Tapos si angle B naman, it measures 50 degrees. So pag pinag-add natin sila, we can have a sum of 180 degrees. These two angles are supplementary. All right? Another example. Okay, here, as you can see, we have angle ABC and angle CBD. All right? This angle plus this angle, it will be 180 because 180 forms a straight line. Okay? So this is an example of a supplementary angle. So pwedeng magkatabi, pwedeng magkahiwalay, katulad din sa complementary angles kanina. Okay, so we can say that angle ABC plus angle CBD is equal to 180 degrees. Now, kung ang measurement ni angle ABC ay 100 degrees, ano kaya ang measurement ni angle CBD? How will you get it? All you have to do is to subtract 110 from 180. So anong sagot natin? Correct, it is 70 degrees. Therefore, we can say that 110 plus 70 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Now, bibigyan kita ng hint para mas madali nating maalala yung complementary angle tsaka supplementary angles. Kasi kadalasan ito yung mga nakakalimutan ng mga estudyante na pagbabaliktad natin ang ibig sabihin. So I'm going to give you a few mnemonic devices para mas madali mo pa itong matandaan. First clue is yung start ng kanilang pangalan, which is yung una, complementary, it starts with letter C. Ang kasunod niya ay letter O. Kung dudugtungan natin, we can actually create a number 9 out of this letter C. So, as you can see, ang kasunod ay O. So, magmumukha na siyang 9 followed by 0. So, you can actually see a number 90 or 90. So, yun ang pwede nating maging clue. Para hindi tayo malito, ang complementary ay 90 degrees. Okay, how about supplementary angle? Okay, supplementary angle starts with letter S. Now, kung dudugtungan ulit natin yung letter S, i-connect natin siya. Okay, anong napapansin natin? So, para nagiging 8, nagmumukha na siyang number 8. Now, yung susunod na letter is U. Kung i-close natin yan, para na siyang magmumukhang 0. Okay? So, kung dadagdagan pa natin ng number 1 dito sa una, magmumukha na siyang 180. Oh, yan. So, yan yung mga clue kung para mas madali nating matandaan yung ating complementary and supplementary. Another is yung letter C. Alam naman sa alphabet, alam natin sa alphabet na C ay mas nauna sa letter S. So, madaming letters pa ang kailangan para marating yung letter S. So, ganun din. Mas madami or mas maluwang din yung angle ng supplementary kaysa sa complementary. Now, ang word na complementary and supplementary ay hindi lang ginagamit sa mathematics. Sa English, ginagamit din ito. Okay? So, to give you an example of how these are used in non-mathematical context, let me give you some examples. Okay. So, we can say that prayer plus good deeds, okay, ibig sabihin, they are complementary. They complement each other. Partner ang mga yan. Now, hindi ba mas maganda kung aside from nananalangin tayo, dinadagdagan din natin yan ng kawang gawa or pagtulong sa kapwa. Kaysa naman kung nagpipray lang tayo pero wala namang ginagawang actions. Hindi po ba? Now, this is an example of the use of the word complement in English. Now, let me give you also an example on how to use the word supplement. Example, fruits and vegetables plus multivitamin supplements, di ba? Ito kadalasan yung mga nakikita natin sa commercial, yung mga multivitamins. Now, anong difference ng dalawang ito? Okay? So in this first example, prayer and good deeds talagang magka-partner yan. Hindi pwedeng mawala yung isa. Now dito, we can actually remove itong multivitamins and matitira lang itong fruit and vegetables and still walang epekto sa ating katawan, di ba? Di ba mas maganda kung ang tinitake ng ating katawan is yung talagang mga raw na fruits and vegetables? Now, itong mga supplements nakakatulong din sila pero hindi ibig sabihin na kailangan ng ating katawan. So, you see the difference of complement and supplement. Okay? Now, let's proceed to the next angle pair. We have what we call the adjacent angles. Now, two angles are adjacent if they share a common side and a common vertex and do not overlap. In other words, no common interior points. Okay, so let me give an example. Ito, we can see here adjacent angles. We have angle ABC and angle CBD. Now, let's see yung mga criteria. First, ano ang common side? Okay, anong common side nito? We have ray BC or side BC. Next one, ano ang common vertex? We have vertex B. Next one, ano ang common interior point? Ibig sabihin, anong point sa loob ng angle ABC na meron sa loob ng angle CBD? Meron po ba? The answer is none. Okay, so therefore, ang angles na ito are adjacent. We can say that angle ABC and angle CBD are adjacent angles. Okay, ito naman yung mga example ng non-adjacent. Okay, so here in this first figure, makikita natin si angle 1 at saka angle 2. Hindi sila adjacent kasi wala silang common side, wala silang common vertex. Alright? Next one. Ito naman, ganun din. Walang common side, although may common vertex sila. Dito naman sa pangatlong figure. Okay, sir, paano naman ito? May common vertex. Meron din naman silang common side. Pero, the third criteria, sabi dito, there should be no common interior point. Okay, tignan natin yung angle 1. Angle 1 is the whole angle. Okay, yung buong yan. And then angle 2 is ito lang, yung mas maliit na angle. Diba? So yung loob ng angle 2, meron din partly sa angle 1. Therefore, nag-overlap na sila. There is already a common interior point. So therefore, this is not an adjacent angles. Next angle pair is what we call linear pair. Two angles form a linear pair when they are adjacent and supplementary. Okay, example. We have here 100 degree, angle 1, and then angle 2 which measures 80 degree. Pag pinag-add natin sila, it will be 180. Okay? At as you can see, these two are examples of adjacent angles. Merong common vertex, common side, and hindi sila nag-overlap. In other words, we can call this next to each other. No? Yan. Another, here, we have 30 degrees and then 150 degrees. They share a common side. They share a common vertex. Hindi sila nag-overlap. At the same time, if you add them together, angle ABC which measures 30 degrees and angle CBD which measures 150 degrees, it will be 180 degrees in total. So therefore, it is a supplementary angle. Okay, so dapat present yung dalawa. Parehas na adjacent at parehas na supplementary. Okay, ano naman yung mga examples ng nonlinear pair? Okay, we have these examples. So you can see, we have angle 1 which measures 40 degrees and angle 2 which measures 140 degrees. Now sir, supplementary naman sila kasi pag pinag-add natin magiging 180. Yes, pero they are not adjacent. Walang common side, walang common vertex. Next one. We have here this example. Okay, as you can see, may common vertex, may common side naman sila. Common side and common vertex, angle 1 and 2. Pero pag pinag-add natin, 50 and 65, it will not add up to 180. Okay? It is just 115. So, kulang. So, hindi siya supplementary. It is adjacent, but it is not supplementary. Now, we also have what we call the vertical angles. Now, ano naman ang mga ito? So, let's see. So, vertical angles are the pairs of opposite angles made by two intersecting lines. These angles are always equal or congruent to each other. Later on, malalaman nyo ang ibig sabihin ng congruent. Now, this is what we call an example of vertical angles. Now, ano yung makikita nyo sa figure na to? Okay, so first we can see that there are actually two lines, ito, that intersect. Yan. And if they intersect, they form how many angles? Yes, they form 1, 2, 3, and 4 angles. Now, alin sa apat na ito ang mga vertical angles? Okay, the first pair is angle 1 and angle 3. They are vertical angles. Another pair is angle 2 and angle 4. They are also vertical angles kasi opposite sila. Okay, opposite. Yan. Okay, now, if the measurement of angle 1 is 135 degrees, now, ano naman ang measurement ni angle 3? Okay, yes, it's also 135 degrees. Bakit? Because they are now what we call congruent angles. Okay, angle 2 is equal to angle 4. And angle 1 is equal to angle 3. Or in short, angle 2 is congruent to angle 4. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. To illustrate, ang kadalasang ginagamit ko sa klase ay itong gunting. Okay? Or yung scissors. As you can see, no, kapag ino-open natin itong handles ng scissors natin, no, nag-o-open din yung kanyang blades. So kung ano yung angle na na-form dito sa kanyang handle, ganun din yung angle na na-form doon sa blades. Kung i-grip naman natin yung handles, no, mababawasan din yung angles dito sa mga blades. So this is an example of vertical angles in real life. Okay? Now, my question is, what other angle relationship can you see aside from vertical angles? Ano pa yung nakikita nyo dito sa figure? Okay, we can also see some linear pairs and adjacent angles. Okay, supplementary angles also. No? So, angle 1 and angle 2 is an example of linear pair. Okay, because they are both supplementary and adjacent. Parehas din dito sa 4 and 3. Ganon din kay 1 and 4. And 2 and 3. Okay? So, aside from being vertical angles, marami din tayong makikitang mga angle pairings dito. Okay, this is now the summary of our angle pairs. So, ito yung apat na angle pair. We have complementary angles, which measures 90 degrees pag pinag-add ang kanilang mga angles. Supplementary angles, which measures 180 degrees. Adjacent angles, no, next to each other. They have common vertex, common sides, but no common interior angles. And then we have the vertical angles, opposite one another when two lines intersect. Okay? Now, asan dito yung linear pair? Okay? Okay, ito po yung linear pair. It's the combination of supplementary angle and adjacent angle. Okay? Now, asan yung congruent angle? Okay? Now, from vertical angles, those two angles are called congruent angles. Okay? Parehas, equal measurement. So, this is the summary of our angle pairs. Para ma-practice nyo, let's have this activity. Okay? So the instruction says name all the angle pairs in the figure below. Okay? You can pause this video para maisulat nyo yung mga angle pairs na nakikita nyo dito sa ating figure. Pwede nating umpisahan muna sa vertical angles. Pwede rin naman kahit anong angle pair, but in this video, I'm going to start with vertical angles. So what are the verticals angle here? We have angle ITV and angle UTE. So since they are vertical, they are also what we call the congruent angles. Okay? So andito po yung ating mga angle. Yan. Vertical at the same time congruent. Next one, we have the complementary angles. Alin sa mga ito ang complementary angles? Okay, as you can see, sir, iisa lang naman ang 90 degrees dito. Okay, we only have angle RTU. Ito lang po. Okay, now, if this is 90 degrees, at makikita natin na meron tayong straight line, so we have this line here. Now, kung 90 degrees ito at ang straight line natin ay 180 degrees, therefore, yung half nito is also 90 degrees. Okay? Therefore, we can say that this angle RTV is also in 90 degree. Now, ano yung mga angles na complementary? Ang mga angles na complementary, they add up to 90 degrees. Okay? Okay, so let's check kung saan dito yung mga complementary angles. Okay, so we have the following angles. We have angle RTI and angle ITV. And also we have angle RTI and angle UTE. Okay, let's point them out. So first, angle RTI. This is angle RTI. And angle ITV. This is angle ITV. Okay, as we mentioned earlier, they create a 90-degree angle. What else? Angle RTI, which is RTI, ito po. And then angle UTE, which is this angle. Okay. Now, bakit sila complementary? Okay, remember, angle UTE is also vertical to angle ITV. And we said a while ago that angle ITV is complementary to angle RTI. So therefore, kung parehas si ITV kay UTE, then you can say that UTE is also complementary to RTI. Now, how about our supplementary angles? Okay, so remember, supplementary angles are angles that adds up to 180 degrees. Okay, so ito po yung mga angles natin dito na supplementary. So isa-isayin natin. First, we have angle RTV. So we have angle RTV. Ito po yung kanyang angle, which is actually 90 degrees as well. At saka angle RTU, ito po, 90 degrees. So 90 plus 90, they both form a 180 degrees. Okay? Next, angle ITV. So we have ITV, this angle. And then angle ITU. So we have ITU, ito po. Okay, so they both form 180 degrees. Okay, in total. Next, angle RTI. So saan po yung ating RTI? RTI and then angle RTE. So we have RTE. Alright, so 180 degrees din po yan. Next, angle UTI. So we have angle UTI. Ito pong buong ito. And then angle UTE. So we have UTE. Okay, yan po yung kadugtong. So magiging 180 na siya. So those are all our examples of supplementary angles. Now, let's proceed po sa adjacent angles. Remember, ang adjacent angle, they share a common vertex, they share a common side, but they do not share common interior angles. Or in other words, they do not overlap. At the same time, in simple words, we can just say they are next to each other. Okay, so ito po yung mga angles dito na adjacent. Let me just show you all. So, ito po yung mga angles natin. Now, isa-isahin po natin. Angle VTI, asan po siya? Andito, VTI. Angle ITR. Ito, katabi niya po si ITR. VTI. Katabi niya rin si ITU. Angle ITU. Next, ITR. Ito po yung angle ITR. Katabi niya si RTU. Yan. Next po, ITR. And then, RTE. Okay, so ito po yung RTE. Next, RTU. Ito po. And then, UTE. Okay, so, yan. And we have UTE. Okay, UTE. And then, ETV. Ito po. ETV. Ang buong yan. We also have ETV. Okay, another ETV. And then VTI. Yan. Katabi niya si VTI. So, ito po lahat yung mga adjacent angles natin. Okay, so lastly po is yung ating linear pairs. Remember, linear pairs are angles that are adjacent and at the same time supplementary. So, ito po yung mga linear pairs natin dito sa ating figure. If you remember a while ago, ito rin po yung mga supplementary angles natin. Okay, so we have angle RTV, angle RTV, and angle RTU, angle ITV, and angle ITU. Next, angle RTI, and angle RTE. Next, angle UTI, and angle UTE. Okay? So, yan po lahat yung mga linear pairs natin. At yun na po yung mga examples ng angle pairs natin. I hope ay meron po kayong natutunan at nasagot nyo po yung ating activity. Okay, so thank you for watching and see you on the next video. Kung meron kang natutunan sa video na ito, please click the subscribe button to support this channel. At para mas matulungan ulit kita sa mga susunod mo pang math lessons. Lagi mong tatandaan, ang math ay para sa lahat. At ako si Teacher Van, nagsasabing dito sa Math Isip, lamang ang nag-iisip. God bless and see you on the next video. Bye-bye.